Hi everyone, Molly here from LearnPedia. Today I'm joined by Suraj, one of our trainees who's been doing some really solid work in our residential design training program. We're going to have a quick chat so you can get to know about his technical skills, his upskilling journey in the Australian residential design and construction field, and how he's been applying what he's learned to the real life projects he's been working on. So, whether you're an employer looking for someone who is ready to hit the ground running or just curious about our training programs, this video is for you. Suraj, it's good to have you here today. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Firstly, thank you very much for having me as well. It's been a pleasure to be here. I'm Suraj. I'm working in the construction industry for the last 2.5 years, being as a professional engineer, accredited by Engineers Australia. Recently, I've completed my traineeship from LearnPedia Australia, which helped me to bolster my knowledge in construction industry furthermore, which brings me more confidence in what's happening in construction industry in Australia, more about challenges it's facing, and how can we overcome this construction industry problem to combine solution.
All right. Thanks for sharing that with us, Suraj. Now, let's just switch to some technical questions. The first question I have for you, can you explain what the angle of repose is and why it is essential in structural drawings?
The angle of repose is the steepest natural slope that a pile of a granular material like sand or clay can maintain without collapsing. It is generally taken 30 degree for sand and then 45 degree for clay. And when we're putting angle of repose details on the structural drawing, it helps us not to undermine the existing footing, and then it helps us to the placement of easements, so we will not be undermining our footing and when we are digging a trench.
Right. Now, on to the next question. What are the common bracing systems used in Australian timber frame dwellings?
According to Australian standard AS 1684.2 and 1684.3, the bracing system used in Australian dwellings, that first is the metal strap or angle bracing, where metal strap is in tension, using tensioner, and it varies in length from minimum 1.8 meter to 2.7 meters, and also height of the bracing is 2.7 meter. According to clause 8.3.6.4, if the height of the wall increases more than 2.7 meter, we have to have the reduction factor given in table 8.19. And following, we have a plywood bracing. It is just basically plywood connected to the timber frame. And then also we can use table 8.19 if the wall height increases more than 2.7 meter. And we have different type of plywood bracing, type G, type ES, method A and method B. We have a method A and method B. The difference is sometimes we can put a steel rod in between top plate and bottom plate to make the adequate bracing capacity.
Perfect. Thanks, Suraj. Let's move on to the third question. If you're designing a dwelling with a large full width tacker door at the end, no side walls, how would you ensure adequate bracing at the end frame?
Well, in this case, first I will determine the wind load acting on the building, and then depending upon the case that you have given, so we cannot use our conventional angle bracing or plywood bracing and then other narrow wall bracing may be a solution, and then I will introduce portal frame in that case. So for introducing portal frame will, I think, solve the case here, but we need to make sure that portal frame is connected to the timber frame using screws, so that portal frame is not acting on its own. It is acting as a structure together. So
uniform. That's right. That's right. Perfect. All right. Okay. Now on to the last technical question here. What steps would you take if you notice inconsistencies in the architectural drawings for a project you're working on? This is more like a combination of technical skills and soft skills. So how would you tackle a case as such, Suraj?
Well, inconsistency may be present in different stages of a construction, maybe in firstly on a structural designing phase, or secondly in the construction phase. So what I will do is, if I encounter inconsistency, is firstly I will have a look through our section plans, elevation, and make sure this is an inconsistency. Second step, I will take a more detailed information. It is affecting our major structural elements, or is just a dimension, or how impactful is the inconsistency. And thirdly, I will make a through report of it, take a notes, like make more organized document. And then fourth step, I will consult with the architect. I'll email her or him, whoever design architectural form, and this is the inconsistency we are facing. How will we address that? So we have a clear documentation. So hope that will solve the issue. If it is in construction stage, so I will take one more stage. I will explain that inconsistency to the project manager and the stakeholders. Stakeholders here, I mean, is a contractor, subcontractors, whoever are affected by inconsistency, which can be done via email or service meeting in the morning or in the site, so that the inconsistencies are clearly
Addressed.
explained.
Okay. Thanks so much, Suraj, for sharing your experience. Now, the last question is about your career goals. Suraj, what kind of challenges or opportunities are you looking for in the field? And how you see yourself adding value to the team you will be joining?
Being in the field for last 2.5 years, and then of course I can see many challenges we are facing. So the challenges that the construction industry is facing at the moment are my opportunities. I have a postgraduate degree in project management, and I know how to use human resources so that we can have better workflow, and I can also develop a on value analysis, whether the project is on the schedule or behind the schedule, or how can we cope that issue. Firstly, second one is we can see the compliance or legislation issue. I can use my scope and integration management knowledge to address that issue. Thirdly, we can see the project management and communication problem. So usually when we have a communication problem, we have a project delay, cost overrun, and then ultimately resulting the project failure. So in this case, I can introduce building information modeling, where every stakeholder involved can have a comprehensive digital visualization of the project. They can analyze, optimize, and then assess the different phases of the project. I think these are the opportunities I will be looking. I've worked with a multicultural society in Australia. I mean, I've worked more people from different parts of the world, and then I'm adaptable to new changes. So it will help us to develop more combined goal rather than individual performance. And also, last but not least, I believe in responsibility, honesty, and honor. I think which fits under accountability.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Suraj, for sharing your experience. It's always rewarding to see trainees who not only absorb the knowledge, but also apply it confidently in real life projects and cases and scenarios, and tie their overseas experience, in your case, to their local experience here. Now, if you're a hiring manager or industry professional watching this and want to connect with a job ready professional like Suraj, feel free to reach out to him. Thank you, Suraj.
Thanks for having me here.